Hello our dear viewers, you are watching MRU TV. I'm Mirembe Daisy to bring you the news today. Let's have the headlines. At least 5 in explosion are killed at Central Damascus Cafe. Venezuela quake survivor pulled out alive after 8 days. Most massive Russian attack at Kiev kills at least 20. South Africa and Ghana in diplomatic row over killing of migrant. Rescuers in Venezuela have pulled a man alive from a rubble of a collapsed building 8 days after devastating twin earthquakes. A man has been rescued alive after being trapped for 8 days in the rubble of a building that collapsed after twin earthquakes in Venezuela. Emergency workers managed to free Hernan Gil more than 100 hours after they had first located him under 140 tons of rubble. A Chilean firefighter had earlier described the rescue operation as, without doubt, the most complex and technically difficult which have had to tackle. Almost 2,300 people are confirmed to have died in the quakes which hit Venezuela on 24th June, and tens of thousands are still missing. Hundreds of rescuers had been working against the clock to free Gil since he was found on Saturday. Parts of the access ducts rescuers used to reach him collapsed several times, highlighting the dangers the work poses to the rescuers as well as Gil. Overnight, the search teams were finally able to establish visual contact with Gil. At least 20 people were killed and dozens were injured after Russia launched a massive overnight missile and drone attack on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. The bombardment, one of the largest in recent months, damaged residential buildings and civilian infrastructure across the city. Russian forces launched a major drone and missile attack on Kyiv overnight, killing 20 people in what the city's mayor has described as the most massive attack on the Ukrainian capital. Vitaly Klitschko said around 90 people were injured. He said an ambulance station was among the places hit in the strikes and declared Friday a day of mourning. Although previous attacks have killed more people, this latest barrage deployed the largest number of weapons on the capital and hit locations over a very wide area of Kyiv. Several neighborhoods were evacuated as strikes rocked buildings throughout the city hours after Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky warned Russia was preparing an attack. At least 5 people were killed and more than a dozen injured after an explosion ripped through a busy cafe in central Damascus, Syria. The blast occurred near the Palace of Justice, prompting emergency responders and security personnel to rush to the scene as authorities launched an investigation. At a cafe in central Damascus has killed at least 5 people and injured 16, according to Syria's Ministry of Health. The explosion was reported at around 3:24 p.m. local time at a cafe on Al Nasser Street in the Al Majah district, close to the Palace of Justice, according to the Syrian state media. Syrian state television said the blast was caused by an explosive device. Syrian news service SANA said authorities have launched an investigation into the cause of the explosion. Footage from the site showed severe damage to the cafe with blood smeared on the floor. Residents in the area gave first aid to the injured until the ambulances arrived. Security forces have cordoned off the area, fearing a secondary explosion. The area where the blast happened has been busy due to recent trials being held for high-profile members of the former Al-Assad government in the nearby Ministry of Justice. South Africa and Ghana have gone into a diplomatic dispute following the killing of a Ghanaian migrant in Johannesburg. The incident has sparked outrage in Ghana, with officials demanding justice and stronger protection of foreign nationals. A diplomatic row has erupted between South Africa and Ghana over claims that a Ghanaian man was killed during anti-migrant protests, which South African officials deny. Ghana's Foreign Affairs Ministry said it had received with profound shock reports that Bashiru Isaac, aged 40, had been shot dead on Tuesday in Cape Town's Khayelitsha Township. It said it had sent a formal protest note and filed a complaint with the police. South Africa's Justice Minister responded by expressing concern that Ghanaian authorities continue to communicate false information about South Africa regarding developments on irregular migration. The police said they had no record record of the Kaelisha murder. They did say they were investigating a killing a day earlier of 35-year-old Ghanaian Kwabena Boagen in extortion-linked crime in a different Cape Town township, Nyanga. South African police said Boagen lived in Kaelisha area but worked in Nyanga, where the crime occurred. It said a post-mortem was being done in line with its protocols. You've been a good viewer. Thank you for viewing MRE TV. You can catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I remain Mirembe Daisy. Good afternoon.